All across Houston on major freeways, from the south side to the north side to the Beltway, there are guardrails that pose a dangerous risk to your safety.
They're the same guardrails that are supposed to protect you in a crash. But Local 2 investigator Jace Larson discovered that they are linked to deaths and serious injuries.
Jace is joining us now, revealing where these guardrails are located and why TxDOT is now taking action against them. Jace?
Hey guys, our investigation is raising some big questions about whether some of the guardrails that you pass by every day could hurt or kill people.
He was more the laid-back, quiet type.
Lena and Shane Tucker were married for more than 20 years.
Knew each other 3 months and got married.
It ended on this Central Texas highway 2 years ago, shortly after he left for work.
Gave me a kiss goodbye and said, "See you later, love you."
Just a few minutes later, Shane was killed when his car hit the guardrail. The guardrail impaled his car and sliced right through his body.
And since then, I learned that my husband probably should have walked away from the accident.
Guardrails are designed to absorb the impact of a head-on crash. The guardrail's head travels down the rail, forcing the rail out the side. The process is supposed to slow down a car, just like in this test video. This is not what happened in Shane's crash.
If that guardrail had functioned properly,
You wouldn't be here.
A Local 2 investigation found other crashes where guardrails impaled cars. I confirmed many of them involve the ET Plus model guardrail made by Dallas-based Trinity Industries. An 18-year-old Pasadena man wrecked on Highway 59 north of Humble. The guardrail severed the teen's leg. And then there's this from North Carolina.
I've lost both my legs. Are you saying you've lost both your legs, sir? Yes. Oh my God. Stay on the line with me as long as you can, okay? I'm trying. His blood is going out too fast. Okay.
These are people's lives. It could be my children.
Joshua Harmon used to install guardrails and competed with Trinity. Now he's helped blow the whistle on the company.
how many of these problem guardrails are on Houston roadways?
Thousands.
Trinity used to make 5-inch guardrails that Harmon said functioned well. Then in 2005, the company changed the guardrail to a 4-inch version and didn't tell government regulators. Harmon says that tiny change results in the rail often going through the car instead of out the side. This internal Trinity email, obtained by Local 2 and used in court, shows one reason for the change. The 4-inch version was cheaper to make by $2.
People have lost their lives completely because of these changes.
Harmon and Local 2 investigates hit Houston roads and found 4-inch guardrail heads all over. For example, on the South Loop, we found 17 of them. On 59 from Beltway 8 to downtown, we found 23. And on the Beltway North, we found 9. Harmon took the company to court 2 weeks ago, claiming that Trinity defrauded taxpayers.
The lawsuit was heard in this federal courthouse here in rural Marshall, Texas. The jury ruled against Trinity Industries. There are people that say that your company or the company you represent manufactures a product that's dangerous.
The product, according to the FHWA, the very organization that approves these for the roads, has said they're safe.
Trinity is still resisting pressure to recall their guardrails. That means they sit on the very roadways that you may take to work in the morning.
If something's not done, it could be your family or mine.
Well, after Local 2 and others started asking questions, TxDOT is one of the many states now saying it will not install any more of these questionable guardrails. The federal government is also demanding more testing, and Virginia plans to remove the questionable guardrails altogether, guys.
Jace, what an eye-opener. I know you have driven all over the city of Houston. You know where these guardrails are. How can we inform people?
Well, actually, we've put together a map, and let me show you how we did that. We grabbed our digital camera right here, and it has a GPS that we purchased for the top of it. And we then drove around and was able to take a picture of each of these questionable guardrails. We put them together on this map. And by the way, this map is available on our website. It's interactive. It's complete with pictures. Anybody out there can go take a look at it. We don't have every road mapped. We're still working to get more and more roads on there, but this is available on the homepage of clicktohouston.com.
All right, Jace, thank you very much.
Channel 2 getting results. The government is now forcing a Texas company to prove that the guardrails it manufactures are safe. This all comes after a major investigation and pressure from Local 2 Investigates. Investigator Jace Larson headed up that investigation. He's joining us live tonight with the details of this new fallout. Jace?
2 weeks ago, my investigation raised some serious questions about guardrail safety in Houston. And now the federal government is not wasting any time taking action after people claim that the guardrails can malfunction and sometimes spear right through a car. The pictures from accidents in Texas are graphic. When Shane Tucker crashed, the guardrail didn't slow his Chevy Cruze. The rail went right through his car and through him. Lena is his wife of 20 years.
If that guardrail had functioned properly,
You wouldn't be here.
an 18-year-old Pasadena man lost his leg when a rail severed it in this crash. Guardrails are designed to absorb the impact of a head-on guardrail crash. The guardrail head is supposed to travel down the guardrail, forcing the rail out the side. Across the country, reports say guardrails made by Dallas-based Trinity Industries don't always function properly. The Federal Highway Administration had backed up Trinity's claims that the product was safe until now. Today, they announced the national testing will take place at this research center in San Antonio. It will last for 11 weeks, and the feds will be on hand to watch Trinity's testing. Texas is one of more than 30 states that has stopped installing the specific model of guardrail, but they're not planning, at least at this time, to replace the guardrails that are already out on the roads. Part of that is because they don't even know where these guardrails are. There is no log or book that has been kept to say where these specific ET Plus guardrails are on Houston roadways. We're live in Southwest Houston. Jace Larson, KPRC Local 2.
Local 2 Investigates got the government's attention by revealing dangers with Texas guardrails. As you saw here first, dozens of guardrails meant to protect drivers have been linked to deadly accidents in which drivers are impaled. After a Local 2 investigation helped to expose this problem, the government announced that there would be a test to see if these guardrails should remain on the road. Jace Larson did that investigation and was the only local reporter to witness today's test in San Antonio. Jace?
Hey guys, you know, some drivers claim that these guardrails can malfunction instead of properly slowing down a car in a crash. Sometimes they say the guardrail can spear through the car and sometimes spear right through the driver or a passenger. There are people that have died in guardrail accidents, so the federal government is demanding new tests. Testing started more than 3.5 hours late as crews changed parts and worked through last-minute kinks.
There are a number of things that they have to do to make sure the test goes off exactly the way they expect it to.
Dallas-based Trinity Industries makes the guardrail and is paying for the independent testing. It says the guardrails are safe, and when they function properly, they should just bend, like this example that Trinity gave us. The test vehicle used today was pulled by another vehicle. Both were set to travel 62 miles an hour and crash into the guardrail at a 15-degree angle. The experts who watched today said it looked like the guardrail functioned properly.
There was nothing remarkable about the test. From the people who were out there witnessing it, they witnessed the test. It looked like it passed and moved exactly as you would expect it to.
This testing process has been very controversial.
So you got no phones or recording devices with you, correct?
Those of us who watched today were forced to leave cameras and cell phones behind so we couldn't record the test from the ground. On the test course, we wanted to go along with experts to measure the guardrail to see if it's the same guardrails as on Houston highways. But we were not allowed to go along with anyone and were not allowed up to the test vehicle. Now tomorrow, the second test will take place. It will be a head-on crash test. Live in San Antonio, Jace Larson, KPRC Local 2.
Representatives from TxDOT were on hand to watch today's crash test, but they wouldn't comment on it.